All right, college algebra, here is 3.4 zeros of polynomial functions. This is I'm going to work some of these homework problems for you here to try to help you out as you go through these. May not have said this in the other videos that I've done, but when I do these, this is algorithmically generated, which means that this is going to be, let me use my pen here. This is going to be different depending on, each time, even if you refresh and get a new problem, it's going to be different. It usually is not what we call static, it's dynamic. It changes because it is driven by an algorithm. Now, some of the problems that are hard to write an algorithm for, they'll just go ahead and put in something static, but that's very few and far between, typically speaking, on these things. So here, the rational zero theorem to find all the possible zeros. So there are two things we look at. We always look at the constant term and the coefficient of the biggest term. So here, our a sub 0 is 8 and our a sub n is 1. And really, I talk about the absolute value of those, okay, because I'm going to do a plus or minus. And then I factor each of these. So 1 and 8 and 2 and 4 are the factors of this one. Okay, and then the factors of this one are just 1 and 1. So then I say 1, 2, 4, and 8, all divided by 1, and I put a plus or minus in front of it. Okay, so then I divide this by this, this by this, this by this, and this. So 1 over 1 is 1, 2 over 1 is 2, 4 over 4 is 4, and 8 over 1 is 8, and it's a plus or minus. So this is the answer I would get. However, they don't have that over here anywhere, right? They don't have that over here. So I say I have plus or minus. So I have 1 and negative 1, 2 and negative 2. That's what plus or minus means. 4 and negative 4, 8 and negative 8, right? So that's going to be, this one right here is going to be D. So let's go in here and choose D. Check answer. Bingo. Look at that. Bingo. B-I-N-G-O, and bingo is his name, all right? All right. So guess what? This same exact problem. Same exact problem here. So I care about 6 and this negative 3. So my absolute AN is negative 3. Nope, not negative 3. It's absolute of that, which is 3. And then my absolute A0 is 6. And again, my factors of 6 are 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. And here 1 and 3 for this one, right? So I'm going to say plus or minus 1, 2, 3, and 6. I list out my factors from up here in the numerator, right? And then 1 and 3. That's the thing that's out front, the a sub n, the coefficient of the highest power. Then I divide all of these by 1, and then I divide all of these by 3. So I'm going to have 1 over 1, 2 over 1, 3 over 1, and 6 over 1. I'm going to have 1 over 3, 2 over 3, and then when I write 3 over 3, y'all, what does 3 over 3 simplify to? 1. So then that's already written down right here. And then 6 over 3 is what? 2. And I already had that written down as well. So I got plus or minus all of these things right here. Again, I don't have that answer over here, so I'm going to have to go 1, negative 1, 2, negative 2, 3, negative 3, 6, negative 6, right? 1/3, negative 1/3. That's what plus or minus means, right? 2/3, negative 2/3. So which one of those answers looks like this? See, 1, 2, 3, and 6, all plus and minus. And then 1/3 and 2/3. That's going to be A, right? That's going to be A up here. So let's go up here and click A. And check our answer, and boom, we got it, okay? So the first part, list all the rational zeros according to the rational zero theorem. All right, let's try it and see what happens. So again, we care about 45 and the 1 out here, right? So the factors of 45 are 1 and 45, 3 and 15, 4, 5, and 9. That's all of them. So 1, 3, 5, 9, 15, and 45. So what I do is I go down this side and back up this side because I like to put them in order. It's not wrong if you put them in a different order. Just the order I put them in. Seems to work pretty good with this thing here. So then I divide it all by what? The factors of 1 are just 1. Well, that's going to give me plus or minus 1, 3, 5, 9, 15, and 45. Now, we've already seen the way that they do this, so they want us to list them all out. So we're going to have to come in here and go, okay, 1, comma, negative 1, comma, 3, comma, negative 3, comma, 5, comma, negative 5, comma, 9, comma, negative 9, comma, 15, comma, negative 15, comma, 45, comma, negative 45. Did I do all those right? 1, 3, 5, 9, 15, and 45, all pluses and minuses, and I don't have any fractions, so that should be all of them, and boom, we got it, okay? Now it says use synthetic division to test several of them in order to identify one. The reason it says several, we may or may not get the one that it is right off the bat, okay? So to do this, to do this, this is we use synthetic division. So my house is upside down, and I put this in here. It's going to be 1, -5, -9, and 45. And then I'm going to try 1 first. So remember, I did my house upside down. I did the whole thing wrong. I wrote it like I was doing long division. So let me fix it. All right. So it goes like this. All right. And I got a porch. So then 1 drops down here. 1 times 1 is 1. That's -4. That's -4. That's negative. That's not going to work out. That's not 0 there. So let's erase this 1 here, and then erase these things here. And on your paper, you wouldn't erase it. You just keep going. I just don't have infinite amount of space here for all this. Is my 45? These two are negative. That's correct. Okay, so let's try -1. Drop this 1 down. 1 times -1 is -1. That's going to be -6. That's going to be +6. -3. That's going to be, that didn't work. Okay. I mean, 45 and 3 is not going to give me 0. So we're always going to bring that 1 down. So I'm just going to leave it and quit trying to do that. So the next thing I try is 3. 3 is the next thing I try. Bring the 1 down. 1 times 3 is 3. That's -2. 3 times -2 is -6. Is that right? And -9 and -6 is -15. 3 times -15 is, look at that. Now we finally found one, right? Now we finally found one. So that tells me right now that 3 is one of the answers that goes in there. One rational zero of the given function is 3. And we also need to know this. This tells me that this is x squared minus 2x minus 15. This represented x cubed. I divided by x, and so now this is x squared. That's what happens there, okay? So, and that's just synthetic division. And I'll link another video in your class about that as well, synthetic division. I have one made that's pretty in-depth about long and synthetic division already. Maybe not the homework that's here, but in-depth about those topics there. So we need to remember x squared minus 2x minus 15, because when I go to enter this answer, it's going to go away. X squared minus 2x minus 15. So we're going to enter in here 3. It should take any of the answers you could get, okay? So use the 0 from part B to find the rest of the zeros. The zeros of the function, to find all the zeros. It doesn't say all the rest of them. So I'm going to say that 3, we're going to have 3 comma already in here. Okay? And then I want to find the rest of them. When I find the rest of them, I take that x squared minus 2x minus 15, and I set it equal to 0. Now this is just a simple solve a quadratic. In this case, it factors with the list method, x, and I'm looking for the factors of 15. The subtract to give me 2, 5, and 3, right? And then the bigger number is negative, so 5 is negative, 3 is positive. And then you just set each one of those equal to 0. And then you solve. So once you get the first part, that's the hard part. Once you get the first part, then it usually, on cubed, it gets smaller and simpler and easier. Not always on bigger powers. So 5 and -3 are the other two zeros. So come in here and put in here 5, comma, -3. And there it is. All right. That's how you do these. List all the, so this is just list all the zeros again. And let's see what the other two questions are. Same thing I just did. Same thing I just did. And this one, list all the zeros. So I've done at least 2 of one type and 1 of another. So I want to stop this video just for time's sake, and just let you have at least a snippet of what to do here. So hopefully this has helped out and shown you a little bit of it. There are videos that go with this. They're not section by section. I'll try to go in there in the modules and do that as well. Make you know which one goes with which section and so on and so forth.